Hello. Hi, Sue. Hi to New York. Is it New York? I think it is New York. Hi, Manhase. Hi, everybody. I think I've got to take my jacket off. So, welcome. Wednesday, evening for me. It is 8 p.m. over here. Let's start a new project. For those who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm the owner and creative energy from Elfen Helden. I'm a Dixie Bell e-light retailer over here in Frankfurt in Germany. So when you join me, just say hi to me and let me know where you're watching from. Hallo, liebe Vera. And if you have some questions, hi, Eli. If you have some questions, hi to the UK, 7 p.m. over there. Okay, you're an hour earlier than we are. If you have questions, guys, leave them in the comments. I will see that I answer those straight away. Otherwise, I come back for those later. Hello, Vera and Vera. So, this is, it's not big. It's a pretty small drawer cabinet, but it's quite cute. It's in a very good condition. I've taken the hardware already off. Sometimes I paint over the hardware, but this time I decided not to. Those were the knobs which were on there, 2 of those on each drawer. So hi, Margit. So, as I said, I've taken them off this time, and I have placed the question yesterday if we shall use blues. I've chosen the Bunkill blue, cobalt blue, and caviar for it, or if we shall use some reds. And the main was the red at the end. So for those who voted for the blue, don't worry, there will be enough pieces coming up. We will do in blue. So, did I say that I'm from Germany? I don't know. Cheers, coffee. I should put that to the side, otherwise the brush will go in there eventually. So this piece has been cleaned nicely with white lightning. That's what I always do before I start painting. And it is solid wood, oak, and it was pretty shiny. You can either slick stick it, but this shininess I could get easily off. I just used the sanding sponge from Dixie Bell, which got about a 220 grit, and I've got easily the shine off. This is fine. You can paint over it then. You know, it's just when you sand it, scuff sand it, and there's like nothing coming off. There's no sawdust, sanding dust. Then you're basically not roughing up the surface, and then you will need some slick stick for the paint to it here. But this one is going to be fine. And as I said, we are going to go for a little bit of a grungy. Well, that's what I'm going to. Well, I'm going to do some blending, but it's going to be a little bit grunged. The base is going to be, I'm going to mix a little bit the barn red and the honky tonk red for this project. Bright red and a little darker red to get like a little cloudy, or not cloudy, blended a little bit. And then we're going to do a wash with caviar, probably not all today, because we're first going to put down the first coat. Then will be caviar, a wash with caviar, especially around those, because there's like pretty detailed, you know, the drawers and things like that. And then we'll have a little bit of dripping with the Gulf turquoise. That's the plan. On the side, I'm probably going to use, I'm always saying probably because a lot of times I'm changing my mind, you know that. And I'm probably going to use a stencil on the side, which is probably going to be the Victorian Damask from the Bells and Whistles line, also from Dixie Bell. So that's the plan. Let's see if I'm sticking to it or if I'm changing my mind for how many times. And I would say, let's get going. It's going to be from the outside to the inside, lighter. Ja, genau, Vera. Buffalo Plate. Da gibt es ähnliche Schablonen von Dixie Bell, das ist richtig, ja. Ja, auch eine Dixie Bell Bluse. Ich habe mir jetzt mal angewöhnt, also ich habe nicht nur eine davon, ich habe mehrere davon, aber ich habe mir so viel Klamotten eingesaut, dass da muss ich mal ein bisschen vorsichtiger sein. Vera just said I can use the pattern of my blouse. And I just said I'm wearing that all the time, but I have several of those. And as I contaminated a lot of my clothes with hi Eddie, a lot of my clothing with paint, I thought I'm going to start to wear my Dixie Belle stuff. So, okay, chalk mineral paints. I'm using the chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle. For those who don't know them, for those who heard it 100 times, my apologies, but there might be people who don't know the paints. They are water-based. You don't really, apart from cleaning, have to prep your piece. Apart, when you have a bleeder and you paint with light colors, or if you have like a slick surface, you can paint straight away on it. They are self-leveling. They've got no VOCs, and you don't really need to seal them. They have a built-in sealer, but I always say they are open porous, and when people touch with greasy hands or something like that, I prefer to seal, but that's my preference. And Dixie Belle has like several options for sealing also. So you can basically choose your finish. So this is the barn red. This is the barn red. Well, just like barn red. I'm just pouring a little bit into the lid. So they are self-leveling, I probably already said, which means during the drying, when the paints are drying, the brush strokes will level themselves out. You can use some water with it. Spokane, Washington. What's the time in the US at the moment? I think it's around 8 p.m., isn't it? But I know you have different time zones over there. So if you haven't used your paints for a while, don't just shake them up, stir them up, because the ingredients, they may have separated as they are water-based during when they have been sitting around. So it'll be safer if you stir them up. I'm going to put the blues to the side. And as I said, don't worry. We will use the blues the next time. I have a similar piece like that, so we can use the blues on that one. 11? Okay. AM. All right. So that's, you have quite a bit of time differences, don't you? Eastern Standard Time, it's 8 p.m., isn't it? Isn't that correct? So I'm using the mini brush. Those are one of my first mini brushes. Dixie Belle came over here about 3 years ago. You can see they've been used a lot of times. If I want to do a very fine blending, I probably would use a new one, because this one has been used a lot of times. So even so, it is a synthetic brush. I have to concentrate. That word is very difficult for a German person. And I like to spray my brush just like a little with am Western-Side of yes. Ach ja, und spricht Deutsch. Okay. So, first coat, guys. First coat. And I'm just like, grabbing some paint, and I'm just going to start. I'm not going to do each draw on its own. It's going to be more like a gradient in between, probably. But as I said, the first coat for me is basically always checking, do I like it the way it is, or do I want to change something? So I like to put down thin coats. I like to put down thin coats. And I'm first adding the full layer of the barn red. So reds and blues with coverage. You definitely need 2 coats. They are the most difficult colors to paint from the pigments, not for painting, but for coverage. So, said wrongly. To paint the, you can see they are very easy. But as I said, first coat is for me always checking, do I like the colors? Do I want to go somewhere else? So this is not going to be the final result. I'm just making sure for now that I get all those crevices and things. 19 is not very good. Excuse me, just got to go over here. And I'm going to take the drawers out and paint behind that also, obviously. But for now, there's different ways. You know, everybody's got his own way of doing it. So there is, you know, in my opinion, no right or wrong. This is the way I do it. And a lot of people take the drawers out completely, and I first want to see if I'm going to go for this or not. If I do like it. So when you feel your paint is dragging, depending, you know, on humidity and room temperature, it is, you know, it warmed up a little again. So we have plus degrees now, but we had like about -10 last week. And it is still, oops, not yet. And it's still pretty cool. So the paint doesn't dry that quickly. So to finish off, I'm just going, you know, in a long stroke over the drawer. So these are synthetic brushes. The bristles are very fine. It's pretty easy to catch all the details. It's a pretty cute piece. As I said, it's in very good shape. But obviously, we do call it, over here, we call it oak brutal. We call it oak brutal. Guys, when you join me, just say hi to me, that I know that you're there. And as I said, if you have questions, just let me know. What's the weather where you are? I quite like that. So, and when you bring in a second color and blend it in, some people do it, you know, on the second coat. Some people do on the first coat, just lay the paints out in blocks, so to say, before they start blending on the second. But for those who follow me know, I change my mind quite often. Okay, it's snow yesterday. Well, that's the most beautiful weather, you know, when you had snow and the sun is out. That's gorgeous. So, and the Honky Tonk Red I basically just got because I think the Barn Red on its own, it's too darkish for me. I think I want to have it a little brighter. And the Honky Tonk on its own is too bright for me. I could have mixed the paints before to have like a solid color. But as I said, I even might do it on each draw. I will think about it. Now while I'm seeing that. I'm going to leave the feet. Who likes that red? This is, I always look like an owl, you know. My ring light is like in my glasses. So I'm using another brush for my Honky Tonk Red, which is, you can see the difference. It is bright red. And as I said, first coat. Yes, I think I might do that on each draw. I'm just spraying it a bit. Have it a little lighter in the center and on the outside a little darker with the Barn Red. I think that's the way I want to go. What do you think? I'm using a spritz of water. This is just water in here. This Mr. bottle you can also get from Dixie Belle. The good thing about it is that it's a very fine mist. Yeah, that's right. It's a beautiful color. Well, I mean, this is not too big, and you know, we're going to work with some blacks also. When you feel your paint starts dragging, I sometimes spray or mist my piece, and I sometimes, hi Amber, it's good to see you. How are you? And I sometimes just spritz my my brush. Yes, I think I'm going to go for this. Quite like this. What do you think, guys? Having a lighter center and a little darker on the outside. But as I said, this is the first coat. I'm just going to come in a little more with my, there we go. So I'm not going to overwork it. Just want to give the paint some time to dry and to rest. So can you believe it's Christmas in 3 days? So over here, the presents will be given out on Christmas Eve. I know it's different in the US, but we do it. Hi, Nina. Hi, Aaron. Thank you for joining. So the presents will be given out over here on Christmas Eve. So, and the shops, you know, are open on Christmas Eve till, you know, lunchtime really. But I will, I'll have to go to my sweetheart and his mom. She is not that well, so, and I'm going to grab my cats and take with me over there. I think I quite like that. I think I'm going to go for that in the center a little lighter, and on the outside, Merry Christmas to you, Nina. And on the outside, with the Barn Red. So probably next week, if I'm not doing it tomorrow, I'll probably work on it tomorrow also. I do have lives on my page at our time, 6 p.m. in German and 7 p.m. in English. So maybe, but for sure you will see it next week. Thank you, Margaret. Actually, I can show you the piece we've done last time. We didn't get it quite finished, but it's finished now. But again, I've changed my mind with that one also. I wanted to use the what's it called, the flower child transfer, and I ended up using the cotton and eucalyptus transfer. So slight change, but I think it was worth it. It's finished now. There we go. Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. I haven't staged it yet, so I just thought I'm going to show you. It is a bit shiny. I've sealed it with gator hide because this might be used as a flower bank or something like that. So that's the reason I've chosen it. Only 20 minutes. I'm good. We move to the side. Let's move to the side. Thank you, Nina. So, but you can see how quickly you have put down your first coat. See I can hear the it's running around. So, thank you. I was going forth and back, and I think I had about 5 different transfers out to because I just couldn't decide. And the flower child was just too much for me. It was overwhelming. And on the other one, we've used the Terra clay paints. We've made a mixture of the Prairie Dawn, Daffodil, and Bougainvillea. I can't pronounce that word. So you can see it looks a little rough, that piece now, but this is only because I've done some scuff sanding. It was, as I said, in a very good shape. And even after cleaning, White Lightning is a deglosser also, but it didn't take any of the gloss away. Just checking if I'm having the right brush here. It didn't take any of the glossiness away. So I've done some scuff sanding, especially with the drawers and things like that. Using the Dixie Belle sponge was very handy. The sides I've done with my sander. I've got a sander from Festool. It goes a little quicker. And it's just scuff sanding, It's not, just going to spray it like this. My brush gets a little dry now. So, and as I said, red and blue pigments are the pigments which are the most difficult for coverage. So, but even so, I'm not, slapping on more than I need to. The coverage will be fine when we do the second coat, absolutely. But yes, some paints or some colors, when you paint your first coat, it's about the coverage is really, really low. So what are you going to do on Christmas? Will your family come to you? Will you go to your family? What's the plan? Let me know. I know everybody is doing it different. But this is the Barn Red. This is the Barn Red from the Chalk Mineral Paint, and I'm also using the Honky Tonk Red. As I said, I'm going to my sweetheart. We do have a long distance relationship now for about 11 years. Is it 11 years? Yeah, 22. That's right, 11 years. And Christmas time, I'm always at his place anyway. It is usually, or it was before when I had my other business, the time where the shop was closed in winter time. So, and now I'm just gonna be there for Christmas. I'm gonna pack up my cats. I'm gonna go up there on, well, either on Friday evening or on Saturday morning. I'll see how that works out, how I'm getting finished here. So, oh, that sounds nice, Nina. I have both in work. I have both in work because I wanted to have a little bit of shading. You know, I'm not really a single color painter. So your eldest daughter. Eddie, tell me, where you from? You're mixing English and German. I feel you're from Germany, aren't you? So, honky tonk. Now you can see the difference. Now you can see the difference. So as I said, this is the first coat. There won't be like a pretty wonderful blending because there is just not enough paint on here, and the more I work the paint, the more I will eventually pull it back off again. So I just want to get like roughly the idea. I'm getting from the inside to the outside. Also for blending, guys, there's loads of different techniques. You can have height Donna, height Colorado. You can have, I'm just misting my brush. I'm misting my brush, grabbing a little more of the barn red. And if I overwork it, I will pull the paint back. But you can see the scuff sanding I've done on here has done very much its job, because if it wouldn't have, I would have pulled the paint back already. You can go sideways, you can go up and down, but for now, I just want to have a rough idea. There we go. But those colors, Honky Tonk Red and Barn Red, they are pretty easy to blend. They're pretty close to each other. So when you're new to blending paints, always choose colors which are not too far away. Don't try to blend black and white or a light yellow and a brown or something like that, So you give yourself a hard time. So, but this is going into the directions. Your parents are German. Canadian born, married an American, 93. Oh, that's sweet. Hallo Anja, schön, dass du da bist. So, but this is the direction it's going. As I said, I'm not going to overwork it. It's still the first coat. And and I know I said it before, but reds and blues are from the coverage the most difficult pigments, but the coverage will be completely fine on the second coat. So what do you think? I think they go pretty well together, those two. Do you know where your parents were from? Oh, hi, Michelle. You're there also. Oh, you're multitasking. So, okay. Let's see. I'm mixing. I don't paint the feet red. The feet will be black. The feet will be black. So the feet will be black, and the top will probably also be black. Deciding if I'm going to paint the back. really pops out, doesn't it? Niederschlesien. Okay. This is going to the eastern side of Germany more, I guess. I'm not very good at I'm moving this thing around. I'm probably having dropped some paint on my head in a minute. So I need just a little bit more of the bound red. I'm just pouring a little out. My recommendation when you, especially when you paint a single color, that's no problem. But when you blend, I always recommend to do, if it's supposed to look similar, to do that on one day. It's, for me it is, tomorrow I may have like a paint with a different hand, and now I'm switching from right to left hand anyway. But what I mean is, you may have, where did I put my water? There. You may have a firmer touch or something like that. That's what I mean, and it may look different at the end. Bielefeld. Okay. I'm very impressed. Really. So a lot of people, they don't know basically where they've been, and I'm just seeing some areas I've missed on this side here because I've been painting on the other side. So always, that's what I do. I will come back later and look underneath. No, but what I was saying is that it helps when you do that on one day, so it looks pretty similar at the end. So, guys, for those, I can't really see on which pages you are all watching, but I'm very grateful you're there. Wherever you're watching, if you're watching on the Chalk Paint 101 page, I appreciate if you pop over to my page and leave me a like and a follow there to not miss anything. As I said, I will be live tomorrow. I probably will be working on this piece again. To continue that, I want to get that finished this year. Leave me a like and a follow. And if you are on my page, make sure you follow the Chalk Paint 101 page. And on the Chalk Paint 101, I also have, if you want to shop the products, there is a link where you can find your local retailer. So, and also a link for the Chalk Mineral Paint Enthusiast group. So, but you can see even for a red pigmented paint, coverage is really nice. Piece has been cleaned with white lightning, scuff sanded. Those, excuse me, I just gotta check inside here if I have that lip all covered. The bigger areas I've sanded with my Festool sander, in those intricate areas at the front, because there's like in those drawers and all those areas, like here, for example, I've used the Dixie sanding sponge because you can really squeeze that together and get into those areas here, to get like nicely in there. So that's what I like to do. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm happy you did that. So, again, gonna come in the middle with the Honky Tonk Red. I just missed my brush a little. And again, you know, it's the first coat. I'm not going for perfection. This is for me to check out. I like it like that. But even so, you know, especially on those areas where those two colors touch at the end, I'm just moving my brush up and down to work the paint into each other. You can mist it if you feel the paint is dragging. You can go from side to side, what I'm not doing at the moment. I don't want to pull it off, you know, I don't want to overwork it, guys. I can do that on the second coat, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow. And it almost blends automatically. Do side to side on the bottom here. It's holding pretty well. So I'm going to come in a little bit with the Barn Red. You can use a neutral brush to erase some of the lines. And I'm hardly touching the surface, guys. I always say it's almost like butterfly kisses. You know, it's butterfly kisses, hardly touching the surface. Go back and forth. As those colors are so close together. So, first coat, I'm leaving it. It's not perfect, but I'm going to leave it. Hello, Marianne. Gotta be careful when I'm getting the red in my face. So, I hope you like it, guys. 40 minutes, I think that's enough for today. Maybe we can do just the feet a little bit. As I said, the feet will be in Caviar, which is a true black from the chalk mineral paints by Dixie Bow. And the top probably also, because I think this is going to go very well with that piece. And yeah, maybe some stenciling on the side, maybe not, maybe some stripes. Decisions. I couldn't even decide on the color, so that's why I had to pull yesterday. Just going. No, I'm not putting that on the freshly painted piece. Let's see. Just gonna get a smaller brush for the. Yeah, we get flat small. For those feet, I'm just using the flat small. Might as well just finish off the first coat of around the whole piece. As I said, when you haven't used your paints for a while, or when the jar is pretty full, like this one with shaking, you might not. I used it yesterday. Let's see. Check it again. It's not that much then. Sometimes shaking is not enough. Sometimes it's recommended to stir it. So it's a true black. It's, you know, it's very dark. So I should put that to the side. Oh. And I probably will use some gold on this piece. I'm going to sit down everything which I can drop. Everything which I can. Including, be careful. No, I'm not lifting it. I'm not lifting it. I can see that thing dropping off. That'll be good love for everybody. If I have a small piece, I like to lift it up and turn it over, you know, to make sure I have everything on the bottom. The drawers I can take out and basically do the behind it also. That's what I'm going to do anyway. And it already looks completely different, you know, even with like one not very perfect coat of paint, it already looks like completely different. That's how easy you can pimp up your furniture, especially when it's in good shape, like this cutie. This cutie is. It is very, very easy. It is very, very easy. So, let's see if we can do that. I keep that on a string. This is a screw, which is basically to screw on handles and things like that. It's dangerous at your age. See how you can see best. So it's easier, you know, I mean, when you have like those two, it's easier to pull or to get like your drawers going. So as I said, I'm going to do, you know, there's like this behind the, just going to, so you can see, I'm going to keep them in an order, but those areas obviously will be painted also, but I'm going to keep those in Barn Red, which is this one. You could do those black. But for the first coat, I do that, guys. It's not what I do is like, you know, is the way you have to do it. There's like loads of different ways of painting furniture, and everybody has got his own way of doing it. So there. I think the drawers don't lay on there. Sometimes the drawers slide over this, but I don't think with this piece, this is a pretty, how would you say, sophisticated, good quality piece. So I think it's this is more like a guiding. So the drawers, I don't think, if it does and I'm in danger, the paint will be rubbed off again. I will use Gator Hide on there to make sure it's well covered. Or well protected, not well covered, well protected. But I don't like that dark wood. I just don't like it. But that's obviously my taste. So I like this color combination. As I said, I'm not a single color painter. That's I like to work with shadings, and even if you sometimes don't really see the shadings, I do. I know I've used it, and I like when you see when you go closer and you're like, oh, I think there's something else in there. Okay, my friends. That's basically what I do on the first coat. The reason I've left the drawers in because I want to have like an overview what I'm doing, deciding if I like the colors the way I'm placing them, and if I do, if I don't, sometimes, you know, I came back on a second coat and I made it completely different. So you can do that also. If you don't like it, paint over it. If you don't like it in a year, paint over it. Paint over it. So, just helps pulling the drawers out. Like 2 knobs giving me, or 3 knobs giving me a hard time. A lot of times I'm painting over my hardware, but this time I wanted to, take him out because I'm not too keen on the hardware which was on there. It's not. Reißt mich nicht vom Hocker, as you say over here. I don't know what that means in English, but. So, my lovelies, as I said, tomorrow I will be on 6 p.m. in German, 7 p.m. in English on my page. I'm not sure who's on the Chalk Mineral Paint 101, Chalk Paint 101. Tomorrow, if anybody will be on, I'm not sure. So, go. And, oh, careful. I usually put those in a separate container, but this time I couldn't find one. Or not the right size anyway for as many knobs I had there. And within an hour you have, if you don't do talking like I do, the first blend and the complete first coat. I'm gonna let that dry overnight and I shall continue that tomorrow. Probably won't get it finished tomorrow either. And then there is Christmas. I will carry on with you guys on this one next Wednesday. Just about enough paint in my lid in red. This is not just the barn red I'm using behind here because you won't really see anything all that much. This is that's fine if it's like one solid color at the back there. Have the second coat on there also. And that's it for now. First coat done, guys. I'm thanking you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you like that. I pretty much do. And thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. For those who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm the owner of Creative Energy from Elfen Helden. I'm a new life retailer for Dixie Belle over here in Frankfurt in Germany. I also am the German distributor for Dixie Belle, so I didn't say that. I'm very grateful you joined me tonight. I know everybody is very busy getting ready for Christmas. I'm wishing you guys, if I don't see you tomorrow, a lovely Christmas with your families. Enjoy, have loads of fun, have some drinks, just enjoy yourself, stay healthy, and I hope I see you next week. Ta-da, guys. Thank you for being with me. Take care. Bye. Sehr, sehr gerne.